Throughout the making of this video, I've been interrupted by both a rooster and the world's loudest quad. And as you can see, this is just a neighborhood. So if you like my videos and would like to see me do more of them more often and maybe of higher quality, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment, because that all helps me be able to afford to move. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for another episode of The Broken Tech. If you're just joining us now, there's a playlist for all these videos that I will link above and down in the description. Those of you that are channel regulars will know we only do these every so often, and frankly, I'm stupid for doing it that way because the Broken Tech videos are far and away the most popular videos on the channel. I'm really surprised by that. I figured there'd be a million people doing, broken computer stuff and everything else on YouTube, but apparently not. Or maybe I'm just doing stuff that some people want to watch. And some of the stuff that I've been surprised by that people did want to watch are what I would have thought would be pretty goofy videos. Like there's a video where I dusted my work laptop, and that actually did surprisingly well, and I'll link it above and below for you if you would like to go watch that. So what we have today is another computer that has been abducted from my day job, and she's just filthy right to the gills. I actually need this thing here to recover some data off of it, and there's a long story why it needs to be done not at work, but that's kind of here nor there. What we're going to be doing is pulling it apart and cleaning it out before I do anything with it, because it is just utterly gross. Here you can see what I mean. These fan grills are just packed with nastiness. This thing was sitting on the floor at least for the last 3 or 4 years that I knew of it, and nobody's ever looked at it. I suppose before I get too much more carried away, I should mention it is a Dell Precision T3610, which I really don't know much about. I do know it's got at least some kind of beefy specs from probably 5 or 6 years ago at this point. So the first thing to do is lay this thing down on its bottom and see if we can start taking pieces off of it and just see how nasty it is inside. And I think Dell has actually made this surprisingly easy on us. It looks like there's a case release handle here that we should just be able to pop and then lift the whole side of it off. Also, you'll notice the blue tape. I'm hiding evidence of incrimination here from the internet at large. This thing also appears to have some other kind of nice server-esque features, like a quick release power supply, I think, which is cool. And these fans back here are not looking too awesome. But at a quick glance, I've seen far, far worse. I'm surprised they're so small for such a robust machine, or allegedly robust. This is a 425 watt power supply. Let's get this cover off and see what lies within. So let's see if it is as I think it is, and see if this guy just lifts off. Yep, looks like, wow, that's a really heavy case side. But it does just lift off. Good grief, look at all the reinforcement and stuff in this thing. This thing's a beast. Let's get this out of our way. I am fairly surprised to see this thing isn't any more filthy inside than it is, just based on how that front grill fans looked. That's really not too bad. It's just mostly collected a bunch of crap here in these fans, just for fun. I wonder if we can determine what card's in it. Video card, that is. Apparently a FirePro Graphics V4900. Looks like it's got some fancy RAM in it too. But anyhow, the next step of our adventure is going to be, I'm going to take this thing out back, because this is not my dust. This is company dust and gross and everything else. So I'm going to clean it out outside, and it's a nice sunny day, so let's do it that way. Something kind of cool I just noticed with this thing is these black plastic bars actually look like they're RAM coolers. I've never seen anything like that before, and if, I'm not an IT guy by trade, I'm just dabbling here a little bit. So this may be old hat to a lot of people, but that's pretty cool. And those actually go up to those super dusty fans we saw in the front of it. They're ducted from the RAM. Pretty neat. So given how dusty those fans are, we may end up popping these if we can, if it's simple, and just dust it out. So now there's not much more to it, but to do it, I'm wondering what we should do first. Let's go after these fans first, because I think they'll be dramatic. Oh yeah. See if we can get after this video card cooling fan. It's going to be just like what I showed you in a laptop cleaning video. We want to hold it, so we don't want to overspeed that fan and take it out. See if I can do this such that you can actually see me do it. Not really. Let's go for the power supply. I have no good way to keep the power supply fans from overspeeding really, so I'm just going to try and take it easy. Air compressor just kicked on again, and I think I want to reorient this thing anyway so we can maybe shake some other dust bunnies out of it. And actually this thing is pretty freaking rad. We can take a whole lot of this stuff off without much trouble. So this blue button is a quick release for the power supply. It just jumps right out. Looks like the CD-ROM drive might be kind of the same story. It still has a regular SATA connection, but I think we can just quick release it. Indeed we can. Good grief, look at that. So these huge locking lugs and the tracks that go down. That's pretty cool. So let's see if we can lay that back out of our way. And indeed we can now release those ducts for the fans. So let's go ahead and just get this CD-ROM out of here. Pretty sure I can not screw up plugging in a SATA cable. Maybe. I was confident for a minute. There we go. Oh, and this is all routed through the side of it. That's nice. Glad we took that power supply out. So there's a whole bunch of crusties up in there that we can get to now. And we can probably get our hand way up in here and blow the rest of this crap out. I'm really liking this thing. This whole, probably $6,000 computer stuff is unusual for me. At least when it was new, it was probably that much money. Let's see if we can get these little ducts out now. Yeah, look how cool that is. Yeah, just push the button down and tilt them out. Come on, there we go. Yep. This took like 30 seconds to gut it down this hard. But these fans up here are still kind of gross. So what I'm trying to do is put this screwdriver through the slot on the other side to try and keep it from overspeeding and just lay waste to them kind of one at a time. So there you can see I've just got a precision screwdriver on through, and there's the end of it just poked out of the vents to keep that fan from spinning. So now we should be able to just hammer on this fan. I'm actually going to see if I can let it spin so I can get some more of it. Actually, it looks pretty clean. Hit it some from the other side. Do the same thing with this guy. It feels like it's probably jammed in there. Looks like we got a third guy over here, like so. So I think now we're just kind of down to maybe giving it another couple once-overs just to get any remaining large pieces, which I do surprisingly keep blowing out of it. Maybe try and work on this CPU cooler a little bit. Oh, I hear a fan in there going crazy when I do that. I don't like that so much. I'm not really getting any dust out of it anyway, so we're going to say good. Heat these RAM cooling ducts a little bit. These are so cool. Got some built up funk on the inside of these. I believe I'm ready to just slap the power supply back in, but before I do, I figured I'd give you guys a little shot of where it goes. Pretty neat. Said this is like server stuff. We're just gonna get this guy ram jammed back in. Power supply. That's all there is to that. I like these little ducts so much I went ahead and wiped them down with some Windex and a paper towel just to clean them up a little better. Kind of hoping they're both the same because I didn't pay any attention to them when I took them off. And of course they're different. So, which one went where? Looks like this guy with the little foot I think went back here. Yep. There's a little tab in the case that it engages to right there. So that must mean the other one is the guy for over here. Let's hope that's true. And there's a small little tab right here that engages in a feature in the case, so cool. There they are. Means our next thing is the optical drive. So what's going on here is there's a racetrack on each side of this drive caddy, and it's open here at the end, and that end has to engage these pins back here. So you have to put it in kind of just at the perfect angle to get her swooped in. These pins engage a track right here. So I think that right there you might be able to see that racetrack is right on that pin. You should be able to just slide her in, and then it looks like this handle wants to self-lock at that point. Now she's in. Cool. Just for good measure, we'll dust her off this side cover a little bit, even though it doesn't really seem to need it. Something that's cool is this little bump here is actually a card support, so all the cards that stick up off the board will rest on this. That's why it's got that little line of dust right there where the video card's been resting on it. Just super robust. I've never seen a case before that came with an answer key for what all this stuff is and where it goes and everything else. That's pretty awesome. I don't know what this big sheet metal block's for. I can't help myself. We're gonna get a screwdriver and find out. Well, that was kind of a duh moment, but holy crap is this thing overbuilt. That's just the cover for the handle to release the case side. Why you need this big sheet metal part for that, I have no clue, but holy cow. It's cool they did it, I guess. Now I'm just dying to know how much these things cost new. I'm betting they weren't cheap. While we've got this cover off, look how robust all this latching is. All this hardcore stuff. I've seen car door handles that aren't built this well. Good grief. I am really impressed with this case. There's just a standard little lip back here that engages the case up there. Get the case lined up, drop it on. Case side's on, want to take it off? There you go. Holy crap, that's nuts. I like this thing. So there she is, all cleaned up and ready for me to recover some data from. Unfortunately, I can't bring you guys along for that kind of stuff. That's the proprietary information of my day job, so can't share that. And I also haven't cleaned up the outside of the case yet. So I'll take any of the blue tape off that's hiding like proprietary numbers and stuff like that before I do that, and I can't share that with you either. But for you guys that enjoy this kind of thing, maybe you just find it satisfying. I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll catch you on the next one. I'm Max, that's Saddington Bear, and we make videos like this all the time. Here are a couple links to some other videos we've made, and we really appreciate you guys stopping in.